Hello everybody, welcome to NEET Simplified. Today we are going to talk about another confusing concept. We are going to clarify that and we're going to understand it very quickly. Yes, but let me tell you something very interesting. Have you ever taken a walk in the lush green fields of paddy, wheat, corn or sugarcane? Yes? So that means you have met the Ambanis of Indian agriculture. Whom am I talking about? I'm talking about the Poaceae family, which is going to be called as Gramineae or very commonly called as the grass family. It's including how many, like the various food crops in India. We have even the bamboo, which is used in the construction purposes, and also the grasses. That's why the grass family, right? So we are seeing this as the VIP of Indian agriculture. They form the strongest backbone of our economy. That means they are the VIPs. Yes, and also let me tell you, Poaceae is the largest floral family, mind you, in the monocots. If you remember, we talked about Asteraceae as well. We talked about that it is the largest floral family, but here Poaceae in monocots is the largest floral family. And today we're going to talk about the confusing concept in it, the inflorescence, which is called as spike. Before we go ahead and understand about this spike, let me tell you, this is the only NEET zone where you're going to find exclusively hand-drawn diagrams for you, and not only that, you're going to visualize your difficult textbook diagrams through the images under microscope, which we are going to present it for difficult concepts. Okay, so drop all your doubts off, subscribe to NEET Simplified, and also don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you're not going to miss the visualization of the further confusing NEET concepts. We're going to simplify it and we're going to travel together, reach your destination in the NEET. Yes, so coming to our inflorescence in Poaceae, which is called as spike. As you can see here, this is the wheat inflorescence, which we call as the spike, and you're finding various individual flowering units on this, isn't it? Spike is nothing but it is the collection of individual flowering units which are all arranged on an axis called as rachis. So you're going to see that the spike is going to contain various spikelets or individual flowering units on this rachis. Now what are we going to talk about? We are going to understand about the spikelets. Right now, in the spikelets, you are going to find sometimes a single floret or sometimes multiple florets as well. Right? Why florets? Because they are very tiny flowers. So we call them florets. Now here you are seeing the representation of few spikelets. And let me tell you one special thing here. You're finding the bracts here. These are not your general greenish bracts which you generally find, isn't it? So these are little husky brown colored and we call these as glooms. Right? So these you are finding on the spike, on the axis, you are finding the glooms as you can see here as well. Right? Now, we are going to understand about the florets present which are enclosed inside these glooms. So you're also finding few structures over here, isn't it? We are going to talk about that in detail as well. So we will analyze a single floret of a spikelet. Yes? So let's go ahead. Now here you are seeing the enlarged view of a spikelet. So this is what is a spikelet which we have just seen. We have seen the glooms which are the modified bracts. These are glumes which are called as the modified bracts. Now, coming to the structures that are present inside these glumes, they are enclosing what? They're enclosing tiny florets, and even these florets are surrounded by bracts, and these are also modified. We will call them as palea and lemma. Right now, this palea is going to be a smaller one and lemma is going to be the larger. So palea is the smaller one and lemma is the larger one. Now again, why are we calling these as modified? They are not like the general green bracts. Yes, and also these are a little different from your regular bracts, and even they are different from each other as well. One is smaller and the other is larger, and also there is a prominent projection which is called as on, which you will see that is arising from the lemma. Right, so we're talking about the bracts. Right now, these are clear. So we understood about the glumes, and now we understood about the palea and the lemma. Now this is a floret and the other floret. You're finding one and the other floret over here with the bracts present inside. Yes, now we understood about the bracts of the flower. Now we are going to talk about the parts of the floret. Yes, now here you're going to find the regular four whorls of the flower. Yes, we have to represent this as floret because these are very tiny. Now, as we all know, we are going to talk about the sepals, petals, and rhizome and gynoecium, the four whorls of any flower, even the floret as well. Right, but before we go ahead, let me tell you about a small modification which you're going to find in the monocots. Now here you're seeing a flower which definitely has sepals and petals both, right? So the outer side, on the outer side, you're finding the sepals. So you're going to find sepals on the outer side, and these inner structures are called as petals. Definitely there are sepals and petals, but can you differentiate them? No, isn't it? There's definitely no difference. No, you cannot even identify which one is a sepal and which one is a petal. And this is a distinctive feature which you find in the monocots. We cannot visually differentiate between sepals and petals. Right now, what is such feature called as? This feature is called as tepals. Now we call these structures, we can't call them as sepals or petals, so we call them as tepals. Now, as we all know, there is a collective term indicating sepals. We call that as calyx. And collective term for petals is corolla. In the same way, there is a collective term for tepals as well. We call that as perianth. Now, this is in the monocots. Now, coming to Poaceae, you will see a further modification of perianth. You're not even finding a perianth over here, isn't it? So, you will see that the perianth is modified or reduced to these two tiny pinhead-like structures which are called as lodicules. You will see lodicules, these two tiny ball or pinhead-like structures which are present beneath the ovary. And what do? They swell and push the flower up so that the paths are open for the pollination. Right? So we are seeing further modification of perianth in the case of the Poaceae. Right? Now we understood that there is no sepals or petals. There is tepals, that is called as perianth, which is reduced to lodicules. Now what about the remaining whorls of the floret? Let's understand that as well. So now we are going to talk about the androecium. Right? So here we are going to find 3 stamens, and you are finding bilobed anthers. Clearly you can see the bilobed anthers which are dithecous. And one special feature here is that their filaments are long. Yes, they have got elongated filaments which are bringing the anthers out of the floret, right? So this is one special feature in case of the Poaceae, which we are going to discuss about it in some time. Yes, so there are three stamens. You're seeing the anthers are bilobed dithecous, and you're seeing they are coming out of the floret because of the elongated filaments, right? Now coming to the next one, the ovary. You're going to see that there is a single ovary, yes, with a single ovule. We're going to talk about that as well. But you have to understand that this ovary is a superior ovary. Why? Because you can see that the rest of the parts of the floret are seeming to arise from beneath the ovary, right? So we will call this as a superior ovary, which is going to have only one ovule, right? So let's understand that as well in detail. But before we go there, so let's quickly compare this diagram with the floral diagram so that we can just quickly revise whatever we have seen so far. So here we have the palea, the smaller bract, then we have the longer one, lemma, and here let's talk about the anthers as well. You can see three of them very clearly, as well as both the lodicules, right? Now very quickly, you're seeing something really interesting over here, isn't it? You're seeing the stigma. Where is it? To the ovary, right? As we understood, it's a superior ovary with a single ovule at a basal placentation. And not only that, now when you see the special feature of the stigma, you are seeing a feathery appearance, isn't it? Why is this feathery appearance of the stigma? We're going to talk about that, as well as one more interesting feature in the stamens. You have seen long filaments. Why are these both happening in Poaceae? Let's understand it in a moment, right? But before that, let me tell you the symmetry is going to be zygomorphic. That means you're going to get two equal halves of the floret only in one plane. Let's very quickly construct the floral formula as well. So here we have got the flower is bractate, zygomorphic, bisexual, and you're going to see perianth, which is reduced to two lodicules. And not only that, you're seeing three stamens, one superior ovary, right? So that's how we got our floral formula as well. Now, the most interesting part, let's go and understand that. Yes, so you're seeing the floral diagram which you see in your textbook, isn't it? So this is the diagram which you observe in textbook with three anthers and the feathery stigma. Now, when you look under the microscope, what you're seeing here is a flower from the grass family. You're going to see exactly three anthers under the microscope, dithecous, bilobed very clearly, and you're seeing the feathery stigma as well, right? You're seeing the feathery stigma. So this is where NEET Simplified is going to be different from all the other channels. You're going to see the live images under the microscope to get your understanding better. Now, very quickly, let's understand about these special features which we have seen, the feathery stigma and also the long stamens. Now, here you are seeing the spike of rice plant. Yes, you're seeing rice over here. The spike of the rice plant. Yes, so here you are clearly seeing the anthers which are hanging outside the floret. Now this is your spike. You'll have the spikelets, isn't it? Now here you're seeing a individual floral unit, the spikelet with the floret inside. You are very clearly finding the longer lemma and the shorter palea. Yes, you're seeing the anthers hanging outside. Now, why are we finding this? You're seeing that both feathery stigma and elongated filaments, these both are going to be the adaptations of pollination. You're going to see that these are pollination adaptations. Now, how is this exactly happening? You are seeing that these anthers are hanging outside the floret, isn't it? Now, when they are going to release the pollen, you will see that the wind is carrying this pollen and this pollen has to reach the stigma. Now, there should be something where the stigma can trap the pollen, right? So, you are seeing that this feathery appearance, the feathery structure is going to trap the pollen so that pollination can be successful. Hence, we will call this pollination, which is aided by wind, as anemophily. So, you're going to find anemophily in Poaceae, which is brought about by the feathery stigma and the elongated filament throwing or making the anthers hang outside the floret, right? Now, very clearly, let's look at the microscopic images once again. So here you're seeing, as we have seen this earlier, the feathery stigma and the bilobed anthers. Yes, you're seeing the stigma and the anthers. So this is going to be your aerial view. And when you look at it sidewise, you're going to clearly see the feathery stigma. You can see the feathery stigma, right? And you're seeing the bilobed anther as well, right? Now this is going, and you also see white structures over here, isn't it? So these are nothing but the pollen which is trapped on the stigma, that is traveling through the wind by the anemophily, reaching the stigma, hence pollination can be successful. So that's about today's topic, Poaceae. I hope it's all clear now. I hope we have clarified your doubts. So don't forget to share this with your friends, and also you're going to find more vegetative characters about all the families in our website. Go check it out, and also you're going to see very tricky questions there. So try to challenge yourself with the questions, answer the questions, and don't forget to subscribe. NEET Simplified. We'll be meeting again with another complicated concept. Let's simplify it in our channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.